Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for giving us this opportunity to present Technotrove and, more importantly, our experience in sharing our case studies that we have been able to implement when it comes to VR implementation, simulation implementation in different industries. So, one of the airports, the pushback operator just crashed the flight. Uh, we are talking about millions of dollars, we are talking of delays, we are talking of insurance. The repercussions are very, very high. And you cannot actually blame only the pushback operator because he's working on a certain environment. They're moving cars, the planes are behaving differently. So there are so many different environments that get created. Airside familiarization, airside safety, aircraft walkarounds, the maintenance engineers. Realistically speaking, once a flight lands and takes off again, an aircraft maintenance engineer is supposed to certify the aircraft to good to fly. In those 30 minutes, for him to look at every aspect and take a call that the flight is good to fly, he has to go through a certain amount of understanding and has to take that judgment call. Now, if we in our system have created those faults, we can plug in those faults to see if the engineer is taking a right assessment call. It is very difficult on a live situation when he's under pressure to behave. He would behave very differently. You can check his psychometrics, you can check his knowledge, you can check so many aspects of his ahead of time in a simulations environment. And we are doing pushback training, we are doing line maintenance as well as hangar maintenance training. We have been able to completely geo-specific mapping and geotypical replica of different airports all over the world. We would have done for Dubai, for Abu Dhabi, for Qatar, for Bahrain, for Singapore Airlines, many airports. We would recreate the whole thing, the look, the feel. Once you wear your VR glasses, you would get exactly the same environment that is there on the aircraft. And that is something that is very unique. And that is how you can do the runway. So it's not general knowledge. It is very specific in a situation that the most of the engineers and people working at the airports would be exposed on daily basis. So we have different library of different aircrafts. When we are doing a pushback simulator, so we have all different kind of aircrafts, the wide body aircrafts, the smaller aircrafts. So each aircraft has to behave differently. So creating that thrust, that mechanical push and pull, we have been able to incorporate all this completely in our simulators. We have even created multiplayers. So once any technician is working in a certain environment, even if you do theoretical training, you cannot test his knowledge working in a group. We have created these simulators where multiple operators, multiple stakeholders in a specific situation can participate together and test their knowledge, test their coordination, and makes a lot of difference in the entire training process. This was just an example about aviation. Of course, I can keep going on and on with it, but since we are limited on time, let's dive into industrial training. Again, different scenarios, some of the different scenarios that we think should be highlighted. When it comes to industrial training, it's about familiarization training. Those expensive equipments. How do you actually, before exposing any person to any specific equipment, you need to familiarize the person. And rather than taking them to the real equipment, and if you look at oil and gas, you can talk of different sectors, different industries, very critical operations. Familiarization of it, different equipments become one of the key challenges. Standard operations of the equipments, situation awareness, behavior training, normal, difficult. Again, one of the key aspects is you can plug in any faults. You can see how they react, what they really do. You can expose them to different maintenance, from machines to vehicles to systems, and you can create different scenarios. One of our customers or multiple of our customers, what they do realistically is they look at last 5 years, 10 years, different accidents that were there, that have happened in those specific organizations. They are building it, those scenarios, those learnings that have gone through, that are recorded, which typically would not be referred or would be concentrated to a specific person, would get into a system. And then every new person who comes is going through the same situation that would have probably happened in the past. And then he gets exposed to that. And there is no better way to learn than from other people's mistakes. And this gives you the perfect chance to do that. The training topics, so we also have build models for confined spaces. So if you look at it, once you go to any confined space, let's assume the model that we have built is for a gas leak. What are the procedures you should follow? What are the safety equipments you should carry? Because once you are in a confined space and if you do something wrong, you've not followed the safety procedures, it can be life threatening for the particular environment as well as for the individual who's doing that. So we've been able to build that, so it gives him an exposure to familiarize himself on the situation as well as follow all the safety procedures. Points where we are talking about general safety, machine inspection, maintenance training, equipment operation, site familiarization, working in confined spaces, standard operating procedures and emergency situations. Vehicle equipments, we from a bike simulator to a car simulator to heavy equipment simulator to a forklift simulator to a dumper simulator to a crane simulator, we can keep going on and on and on. The reality is, in every such organization, road safety is one of the key aspects, human safety is another aspect, fuel efficiency, vehicles maintenance. These are so many aspects that needs to get covered. And every single organization today, no disease is killing that many people as much as road accidents are killing. And every organization in the world is taking the entire concept of vehicle equipment, vehicle training very, very seriously. And to make it more specialized, then there are vehicles like ambulances or fire trucks. They need to react and behave in a certain way in a certain environment. That familiarization and that training can also be conducted. So we are also expanding ourselves to military training over VR, fire and safety, emergency response, nuclear and homeland security. Over and above aviation, over and above equipments, these are other industrial applications for simulation. And I can honestly keep expanding on each subject or multiple such applications. But it is just this whole discussion or this whole presentation is to give our experience of what we have been able to do. And of course, like I keep saying, we are just scratching the surface right now with the new equipments. Earlier, when we started 20 years back, it was more about simulation. Now we are entering the AR, VR world. In VR, now the headsets are going through a major transition. As the technology keeps evolving, we are continuously evolving along with it. Just to give you an example, military training. We are building simulators. To give a replica, we are doing complete 3D printing. We are going to complete body motion sensing and solution building around that. So there is a lot of innovation that is happening, a lot of change that is happening, and our knowledge, our association with the customers, our subject expertise in so many different fields, and our experience of last 20 years is really helping us stay ahead of the curve, and more importantly, not establish systems and solutions that are more catalog based. We have been more focused on building systems that really solves a problem. So I don't think we have been till date any time gone to a customer and said this is the product that we are really offering. We have tried to understand customer requirements and build our solutions and systems around that. So this is again explaining what different situation-based trainings can be: crowd management, accident analysis training, logistic response to training, evacuation. The last model that we built for Indian government was if there is a situation of an earthquake or a natural calamity, how does evacuation happen? I have seen in Dubai every large corporate park going through a fire drill every year. And it's more of fun, right? They are really not, do they really follow the procedure? If God forbid there is a fire? No, nobody has actually, that whole training procedure is not registered in their mind. They're just told to go to an open area and then told to evacuate. But I'm sure whenever this unforeseen incidences have happened, those procedures are not followed. When you make it gamified, when you actually get them in those situations and make them experience that if they did not follow the procedure, what can be the end result, really leaves a very deep impact on the candidates. So I have continuously last 15 minutes explaining about the benefits of VR. It's very engaging and interactive environment. It is improved training effectiveness. I really believe that VR based training is far more effective, far more faster, far more cheaper, and you cannot, till you don't experience it, it might look like it's pretty distant and not effective, but it really is. It reduces your training time and cost, prepares for critical and hazard situation under complete safety, standardized and result oriented training. We have case studies that we have built over a period of time, that we have got candidates their performance before the training, and once they've gone through the training, we've done complete mapping of their performance after the training, and there is a substantial difference. So these are again highlighting the benefits of technology enabled training, and we really believe that one of the key differences is this is really a scalable model. It is not dependent on humans, it is still interactive. We are created a complete learning management system that one person sitting at a central server or a central location can monitor the training processes followed all across the world, and that is the only way we believe that we can do an interactive training but still make it scalable. Yeah. So these are some international reports. Nielsen report 2020 is talking about VR and safe enterprise is 13.5 billion in training cost. I really believe the entire industry will reach trillions of dollars. It's just about like I said, the tip of the iceberg. PwC report talks about VR cannot replicate high risk and complex environments, and VR trains 4x faster than classroom. So yeah. So experience the TechnoSim advantage. We understand that your success lies getting the right solution for your problems. With over a decade of developing simulation solutions, we have the expertise in understanding the client needs and delivering the results expected. So it's just highlighting our philosophy, our focus of understanding your needs, understanding technology, understanding different sectors, giving the knowledge and help you build an effective training module. Thank you. Be safe.